Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever felt like no matter how hard you try, money seems to slip through your fingers? You work, you hustle, you sacrifice, yet somehow, it feels just out of reach. What if I told you, the reason wealth isn't finding you isn't because you're not working hard enough, but because you're asking for it the wrong way? Yes. You heard me right. Most people beg for wealth. They plead. They worry. They think if they shout loud enough, life will listen. But wealth doesn't respond to fear. Wealth doesn't respond to begging. Wealth responds to declaration. Let me explain. Think of the universe as a great magnet. It's always listening. But here's the trick. You attract what you believe in, not what you wish for. When you declare, I am prosperous, I am worthy of abundance, you're sending a signal that says, I am ready. You're aligning your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions with the frequency of wealth. Imagine planting a seed. If you beg it to grow, scream at it, pull at it, what happens? Nothing. But when you nurture it, water it, and trust the process, it blooms. That seed doesn't need your begging, it needs your declaration of faith. Now, let me tell you about Sarah, a single mom I know. She had bills piling up, doubts creeping in, and fear knocking at her door every morning. But one day, she decided, I am open to receive wealth. I am capable. I am abundant. She wrote it on her mirror, said it every morning, felt it in her heart. And slowly, opportunities started showing up: unexpected freelance work, a promotion, even small gifts that added up. She didn't chase money. She declared her worth, and money came running. Think about that. What if your wealth story doesn't start with I need money? What if it starts with, I am worthy. I am ready. I am abundant. Your words are magic. Your thoughts are the architects of your future. When you declare abundance, the universe takes it as a command, not a request. Ask yourself, are you begging? Or are you declaring? Are you living in fear of scarcity, or in faith of your infinite potential? The moment you stop begging and start declaring, doors you didn't even know existed will open. People will see your energy. Opportunities will seek you. Your life will shift, not because luck changed, but because your vibration did. So today, I challenge you. Don't plead. Don't worry. Don't chase. Stand tall. Speak with conviction. Say it until you feel it. I am wealthy. I am abundant. I am open to receive the riches of life. And then, watch the universe move. Watch wealth find its way to you. Not by force. Not by luck. But because you declared it, and your life will never be the same. Thank you. In this video you will listen these key takeaways. Wealth responds to declaration, not begging. Speak with confidence, not desperation. Thoughts and words are powerful magnets. They attract what you believe, not what you wish. Fear and scarcity block abundance. Faith and self-worth open doors. Real-life alignment, like feeling worthy and ready, invites unexpected opportunities. Daily affirmations and belief in your worth act like planting seeds that grow over time. Stop chasing, start declaring. Abundance comes to those who claim it confidently. Have you ever watched someone beg for something, only to see it slip further away? Maybe it was a child asking for a toy, their little hands outstretched, their voice trembling with desperation. You could feel the yearning in their tiny plea, but there was something in that energy, an anxious, grasping, pleading energy that made the universe, or the parent, hesitate. Now imagine this on the scale of your life, your finances, your dreams. That's exactly what happens when we approach wealth with fear, worry, or begging. Most of us have done it at some point. We sit at our desks, staring at overdue bills, muttering under our breath, I need more money. Please, I just need more money. We send silent prayers into the void, hoping somehow, someway, it will fall into our lap. We draft resumes, make phone calls, hustle harder than ever, but deep down, there's a tight knot in our chest, a whisper of doubt that undercuts every effort. Will this ever be enough? That tension, that anxious grasping, it's a vibration the universe can't respond to. It's a signal of scarcity, not abundance. Now picture someone else in a similar situation. Let's call him Daniel. Daniel was struggling to keep his small cafe afloat. The rent was overdue, suppliers were calling, and customers were unpredictable. Yet every morning, Daniel would stand behind his counter, look at the empty chairs, and declare with unwavering confidence, "I am abundant. Wealth flows to me easily. My cafe is thriving and full of grateful customers." He didn't just say it like a mantra, he said it like a promise to himself, like a command that the universe couldn't ignore. At first, it felt absurd. He was still facing late payments, dwindling sales, and sleepless nights. But slowly, a shift occurred. A local food blogger visited his cafe and loved it, posting a glowing review that drew a new wave of customers. A supplier offered flexible payment terms, sensing Daniel's unwavering energy. Even the smallest things, the tip jar that was usually empty, the occasional gift from a loyal patron, began to trickle in. Daniel didn't chase any of this. He declared his vision, he held the energy of abundance, and the world began to respond. You see, begging is reactive. It's born from a sense of lack. It's like stretching your hand toward a river, trying to scoop water with clenched fingers. The water slips through. But declaration is proactive. It's a statement of power, a declaration of faith. It's like planting a jug in the river and trusting it will fill naturally, effortlessly, because you are in alignment with the flow. When you declare, you are telling the universe, "I am ready. I am capable. I am worthy of receiving." You are no longer a desperate seeker, you are a confident receiver. Think about Florence Scovel Shinn herself. She often spoke about how people unconsciously block the very things they desire through fear, doubt, or pleading. She said, "Your word is your wand. Your spoken word is the power that shapes your life. Speak it wisely." It isn't about mumbling affirmations while worrying in your heart. It's about embodying the truth of your declaration with every fiber of your being, feeling it in your bones, letting it resonate in your mind, and letting your actions reflect it. Let me paint another picture. Imagine a young artist, Emily, struggling to sell her paintings. She spends nights sending emails, begging galleries to accept her work, worrying that her talent isn't enough. The more she begs, the more closed doors seem to become. One day, she reads about the power of declaration. She sits in her studio, paints a new piece, and whispers to herself, "I am a successful artist. My work touches the hearts of thousands. Opportunities come to me effortlessly." She doesn't ask, she asserts. She doesn't beg, she embodies. Within months, a gallery owner stumbles upon her Instagram account, is captivated by her unique style, and offers her an exhibition. She hadn't chased it. She hadn't begged. She had declared, and the universe responded. This isn't magic, it's physics, it's energy, it's the law of attraction in action. Your inner state sends a signal outward. Desperation says, "I am not enough." Declaration says, "I am ready to receive what is mine." One vibrates fear, the other vibrates confidence. One pushes opportunity away, the other draws it in like a magnet. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to attract wealth effortlessly? It's not that they have a secret formula or cheat code. It's that they've stopped begging. They've stopped pleading, worrying, doubting. They have stepped into the mindset of declaration. They say, quietly or boldly, "I am abundant. I am prosperous. I am ready," and they live their lives as though this is already true. Opportunities appear. Doors open. People respond. Circumstances shift. Even in everyday life, you can see this principle at work. Think about a job interview. The person who begs for the position, who apologizes, who doubts themselves, do they inspire confidence? Or the candidate who declares their worth, shares their accomplishments with pride, and speaks with conviction? Which one leaves the room feeling noticed, remembered, and valuable? The same principle applies to money, to business, to wealth in all forms. Your inner declaration sets the tone for everything external. And the beauty of it is that you don't need to know how it will arrive. You don't need to control the timing, the method, or the form. When you declare, you simply release the need to control and trust that abundance will find its way to you. You might receive a check in the mail, a chance encounter with the right person, a sudden inspiration that leads to a profitable idea. You don't chase. You declare. You align. And it comes. The challenge, of course, is to truly believe it. It's easy to mumble the words without feeling them. It's easy to say, I am wealthy, and still feel the old fear creeping in. But the shift begins the moment you commit to the declaration fully, emotionally, and consistently. When your words and your feelings are in harmony, the universe responds with equal energy. And that is the first, most important truth about wealth. It does not respond to begging. It does not respond to fear or pleading or worry. It responds to your declaration. The confident, unwavering, heartfelt statement of your worth. The words that rise from your soul, not from your anxiety. The statement that says, I am ready. I am worthy. I am abundant. Have you ever noticed how your mind can be your greatest ally or your fiercest enemy? How a single thought can brighten your day or sink it into gloom? Imagine standing in front of a mirror, looking into your own eyes, and saying, I will never succeed. How heavy does that feel? How quickly does doubt creep into your shoulders, your chest, your every action? That, my friends, is the subtle but powerful force of belief. Thoughts are not just mental chatter, they are magnets, constantly sending signals into the universe, shaping the reality around you. I want to tell you about Mark, a young entrepreneur who dreamed of launching his own tech startup. Every morning, he would wake up with excitement and vision. He imagined an app that could change lives, a business that could make a difference. But almost instantly, fear would seep in. I don't have enough experience, he thought. People will laugh at my idea. I'll fail. He repeated these thoughts like a broken record. And you know what happened? He failed again and again. Not because his idea was bad, but because his mind, his inner dialogue, was sending out signals of scarcity and failure. He wasn't attracting opportunity, he was attracting doubt, rejection, and delay. One day, Mark stumbled upon a concept that changed everything. He read about the idea that your thoughts are not just passive, they are active forces. They attract not what you want, but what you believe. He realized that his repeated self-doubt wasn't neutral, it was magnetic. The more he believed in lack, the more lack showed up in his life. The more he believed in fear, the more fear became reality. So he made a decision. Every morning, instead of starting his day with I might fail, he began with a declaration, I am capable. I am creative. My work will make a difference. Opportunities flow to me effortlessly. At first, it felt strange, almost dishonest. His mind would whisper, yeah, right. But he persisted. He painted these declarations on sticky notes, wrote them in his journal, spoke them aloud as he walked through the city streets, even whispered them before sleeping. Slowly, he noticed small changes. A mentor reached out with advice. An investor who had never responded before sent a thoughtful email. A potential partner suddenly found time to meet him. These were not coincidences, they were the universe responding to the new vibration of his thoughts. Think about it. If you spend your days imagining problems, worrying about bills, fearing rejection, what kind of energy are you radiating? It's like standing in a room filled with invisible magnets. Every fearful thought, every worried word, pushes opportunity away. But when you consciously choose your thoughts, when you carefully craft the words you speak, you create a gravitational pull toward the very things you desire. The universe doesn't hear your wishes. It responds to the energy behind your beliefs. Consider the story of Maya, a writer who longed to publish her first novel. 4 years, she sent manuscripts to publishers, feeling anxious, uncertain, and unworthy. Each rejection felt like proof of her worst fears. One evening, feeling particularly defeated, she sat down and made a radical change. She wrote on a piece of paper, I am a published author. My words inspire thousands. Readers are waiting for me. She put the paper on her desk, looked at it every morning, and truly imagined herself living that reality. She didn't just say it, she felt it. Months later, a small publishing house reached out. The story that had been rejected countless times was finally accepted. And once the first book was published, the momentum built a ripple effect that only started when her thoughts shifted from doubt to belief. This is the essence of the law of attraction in action. It's not magic. It's physics. Your inner state, your beliefs, your habitual thoughts, they send out energy that the universe reflects back. If you believe in scarcity, you attract scarcity. If you believe in abundance, you attract abundance. But here's the catch, it's not about wishful thinking or saying affirmations while secretly doubting them. It's about deeply believing in the reality you want, feeling it, living it in your imagination as if it's already true. Imagine your mind as a radio transmitter. If you tune it to fear, scarcity, and limitation, every station you pick up will play the same song: rejection, missed opportunities, closed doors. But if you tune it to confidence, creativity, and abundance, suddenly, every channel you encounter carries the frequencies of possibility, growth, and success. Your thoughts aren't just reflections, they are magnets shaping the world around you. Here's another way to look at it. Picture a farmer planting seeds in two separate fields. In one field, he constantly doubts whether the seeds will sprout. He talks to the soil with worry, pulling the earth, fearing the rain won't come. In the second field, he plants seeds with love, attention, and certainty. He waters, nurtures, and trusts the process. Which field do you think flourishes? The seeds themselves are the same. The difference is in the energy invested, the belief that the harvest will come. That's exactly how your thoughts work, they are the invisible fertilizer of your life. Even in daily life, the power of belief manifests in subtle ways. A salesperson who believes in their value closes more deals than one who doubts themselves. A student who believes they can master a subject absorbs knowledge faster than one who tells themselves they are incapable. A parent who believes they can guide their child with love sees cooperation and growth. One who doubts their ability experiences constant struggle. Your thoughts, repeated and internalized, are the architects of the reality you experience. And it's not about perfection. It's not about never having a negative thought. It's about recognizing the difference, catching yourself in moments of fear or doubt, and consciously choosing belief instead. It's about telling your mind, again and again, I will focus on what I want, not what I fear. I will speak words of abundance, not lack. I will believe in the reality I am creating. The universe responds to consistency, conviction, and clarity. So ask yourself, what are you magnetizing today? Are your thoughts quietly whispering doubt, fear, and limitation? Or are they boldly declaring your worth, your ability, and your right to abundance? Every word you speak, every thought you hold, every image you carry in your mind, it's not incidental. It is shaping your life, moment by moment, silently, invisibly, powerfully. Fear has a way of sneaking into our lives quietly, almost unnoticed, until it's running the show. It doesn't announce itself with a trumpet, it whispers. It creeps into our thoughts. What if I fail? What if there isn't enough? What if I'm not worthy? And if we listen too closely, we begin to live in its shadow. Every step forward feels heavy. Every opportunity seems risky. Every chance at abundance is clouded by doubt. Scarcity becomes a lens, coloring every interaction, every decision, every dream. I want you to picture Rachel, a talented chef with a dream of opening her own restaurant. She had the skills, the recipes, and the drive, but she was trapped in fear. She worried endlessly about rent, about failing customers, about loans she couldn't pay. Every time she imagined success, her mind whispered, that's impossible. You can't do this. You'll lose everything. For years, Rachel's dream remained just that, a dream. She worked in other people's kitchens, watched her ideas simmer in her imagination, but never dared to bring them to life. Then one day, a mentor asked her a simple question: do you trust yourself enough to try? The question hit her like a spark in dry grass. She realized that her fear was not just a fleeting feeling, it had become the invisible walls around her life. Scarcity had convinced her that she was small, unworthy, and incapable. And the universe had no choice but to mirror that energy back to her. But here's the extraordinary thing: the moment Rachel chose faith over fear, everything began to shift. She didn't suddenly have a flood of money. She didn't magically gain a Michelin star. What changed was her energy. She began to see possibilities instead of obstacles. She began to believe in her own worth. She spoke daily affirmations: I am capable. I am worthy. Opportunities are drawn to me. She visualized a bustling restaurant filled with happy customers, smelled the aroma of her signature dishes, felt the pride swelling in her chest. And then the universe responded. A friend who owned a small venue offered her space at an affordable rate. A supplier, impressed by her professionalism and passion, extended generous credit. Slowly, steadily, the pieces began to fall into place. Rachel's faith and self-worth acted like keys opening doors that fear had kept locked for years. She didn't force abundance. She aligned herself with it. Fear, by contrast, acts like quicksand. The more you struggle, the deeper you sink. Scarcity tells you, you're not enough. There's never enough. You must fight for scraps. It's exhausting, paralyzing, and deceptive. Many of us operate from this energy without realizing it. We bargain with the universe, we beg, we worry, we hoard. But fear doesn't create opportunity, it blocks it. Faith does. Self-worth does. A quiet, unshakable belief that you are deserving of life's blessings shifts your entire reality. Let me give you another example. Think about Thomas, a software engineer stuck in a dead-end job. He had ideas that could change the world, but he was gripped by fear. What if I fail? What if I lose my steady paycheck? Every time he imagined launching his app, his doubts multiplied. Then, one evening, he decided to do something radical. He wrote a declaration: I am worthy of success. My ideas bring value. I trust in my ability to create abundance. He didn't just write it, he lived it. He told himself every day, he visualized his success, and he began taking small, courageous steps, coding late into the night, pitching his ideas to friends, testing prototypes. Within months, Thomas caught the attention of an investor who resonated with his vision. The app launched. It succeeded beyond expectations. And when asked how he did it, he didn't say it was luck, he said it was the moment he stopped letting fear run his life and started trusting in his own worth. This is the core of abundance. It flows not to those who beg, not to those who cling in fear, but to those who trust in themselves, who carry faith in their hearts, and who live as if they are already deserving. Scarcity keeps you looking backward, comparing yourself to what you lack. Faith and self-worth pull you forward, toward the life you are capable of creating. Think about it like this: fear is a closed door. You can pound on it, kick it, even beg it to open, but it will not budge. Faith is a key. Self-worth is a key. When you hold these keys, the door swings open effortlessly. Opportunities, resources, and support don't come because you demanded them, they arrive because your energy is in harmony with receiving them. Even in everyday life, this principle is visible. Consider someone entering a meeting, job interview, or networking event. If they carry fear, they speak hesitantly, avoid eye contact, and shrink their presence. Opportunities slip past them unnoticed. But someone who stands tall, believes in their worth, and exudes calm confidence, doors open, conversations flow, connections happen naturally. The same is true for wealth and abundance in life. The challenge, of course, is that fear often disguises itself as practicality. I'm just being realistic, we say. But when realism is rooted in scarcity, it's a subtle thief, stealing dreams one thought at a time. The antidote is faith, not blind faith, but faith tempered with action and belief in your own ability to receive and create. Faith whispers, you are capable. You are deserving. The universe supports you. And when paired with self-worth, it transforms hesitation into action, doubts into courage, and scarcity into opportunity. Even small actions demonstrate the shift. A daily affirmation, a visualization, a confident choice, a declaration of worth, these aren't trivial. They are signals, magnets pulling abundance toward you. They change the energy around you, the way people respond to you, the way opportunities appear. They are proof that fear may block doors, but faith and self-worth are master keys, capable of unlocking even the most tightly shut paths. And so, when you feel fear creeping in, when scarcity whispers in your ear, remember Rachel, remember Thomas, remember the countless ordinary people who stepped into faith and discovered extraordinary results. Fear will never create wealth, abundance, or opportunity. Scarcity will never invite growth or joy. But the quiet, unwavering belief in your worth, the courage to trust yourself, and the faith that life is abundant will move mountains. It will open doors you didn't even know existed. It will align circumstances, people, and possibilities with the vision you declare. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to have opportunities fall into their laps when they least expect it? It's almost like the universe is conspiring in their favor, doors opening, connections appearing, opportunities presenting themselves without force. What if I told you the secret isn't luck, skill, or timing, but alignment? Real alignment between who you are, what you believe, and the energy you put out into the world. When you feel worthy and ready, the world can't help but respond. I remember meeting Alex, a graphic designer who had a remarkable talent but had spent years undervaluing himself. He took freelance work at low rates, doubted his abilities, and often wondered if he'd ever be recognized for his creativity. One day, during a moment of frustration, Alex decided to try something radical. Instead of negotiating his fees down or apologizing for his work, he started to fully embrace his worth. He told himself, "I am a skilled designer. My creativity is valuable. The right clients are drawn to me." He began presenting his work with confidence, not hesitation. When he met potential clients, he didn't shrink or apologize. He spoke proudly about his skills, his vision, and the results he could deliver. He aligned his actions with his new belief in himself. Within weeks, something remarkable happened. A client he had only casually emailed reached out, impressed by his portfolio and professionalism, asking for a long-term collaboration. Shortly after, another client, introduced by a mutual contact, offered a premium project. The opportunities didn't appear because Alex begged or chased them, they appeared because he had aligned his inner belief with his outward actions. Think about it like a musical instrument. If a guitar is out of tune, no matter how much you strum, the melody is discordant. But when it is perfectly tuned, the strings vibrate in harmony, and every note you play resonates effortlessly. Your thoughts, beliefs, and energy are the strings. When they are aligned with your worth and readiness, opportunities resonate with you, they appear naturally, without struggle. Let me share another story. Sophia, a young entrepreneur, had always dreamed of launching a wellness brand. She had the product ideas, the knowledge, and the passion, but she hesitated because she didn't feel ready. She felt she lacked enough experience, enough capital, enough connections. But then she realized that readiness isn't about perfect conditions, it's about feeling aligned with your purpose and acting as if you are capable now. She started to embody her vision, waking up each day with clarity, writing her brand mission, connecting with mentors, and presenting herself as someone who could lead a thriving business. The transformation was almost immediate. Investors noticed her confidence and approach, not just her product. Collaborations appeared from people who resonated with her energy. Even small things, like a supplier offering favorable terms or a designer volunteering to help with branding, aligned perfectly with her vision. Sophia didn't chase the universe, she tuned herself to receive. She felt worthy, she acted ready, and doors she hadn't imagined opened effortlessly. Alignment is more than just thinking positively, it's feeling, acting, and vibrating in harmony with the reality you desire. If you're internally saying, "I am unworthy," while externally saying, "I want wealth," the universe receives a confusing signal. It's like trying to send a text with bad reception, the message doesn't get through. But when your thoughts, beliefs, and actions speak the same truth, the message is loud, clear, and irresistible. Even in everyday moments, this principle shows itself. A teacher who believes in her ability to inspire her students naturally attracts engagement and curiosity. A speaker who believes in the value of their message draws audiences who are eager to listen. A professional who feels confident and competent attracts mentors, partners, and clients without aggressive hustling. Alignment is magnetic. It pulls circumstances, people, and resources toward you in a way that begging, worrying, or overworking never can. Let me ask you this: how often do you wait until conditions are perfect before acting? How often do you delay pursuing a dream because you don't feel ready, worthy, or confident enough? Real-life alignment is about stepping forward even when everything isn't perfect. It's about saying, "I am ready now. I am worthy now," and letting the universe meet you where you are. The readiness and worthiness you cultivate internally radiate outward, attracting unexpected opportunities that seem to appear almost magically, but in reality, they are drawn to the energy you are putting out. I've seen it countless times. People who were overlooked for years suddenly experience breakthroughs the moment they stop waiting and start aligning. It could be a chance meeting with someone who becomes a mentor, a sudden collaboration that elevates a career, or a new client who sees their value and invests generously. Opportunities rarely knock when you are in fear or self-doubt. They flood in when your energy says, I am here. I am ready. I am worthy. Even the smallest gestures of alignment matter. The way you carry yourself in a meeting, the way you speak to a potential client, the clarity of your intentions, the courage to take a first step, these are all magnets. Every action, every word, every choice that comes from a place of self-worth amplifies your capacity to attract abundance. And the beauty of it is that alignment doesn't require perfection. It requires intention, clarity, and the emotional conviction that you are deserving and ready to receive. So the next time you feel stuck, waiting for the right time, the right opportunity, the right conditions, pause and ask yourself, am I truly aligned with my worth? Do I feel ready to receive? Because the truth is, the universe responds not to your hesitation, not to your fears, but to the readiness and confidence that emanates from within. When you feel worthy and ready, you don't have to chase life. Life chases you. Doors open without struggle. Opportunities appear without planning. And the universe finds a way to reward the energy you consistently radiate. Have you ever planted a seed and expected a tree to appear overnight? Of course not. You know it takes time, patience, and care. Yet when it comes to your dreams, your wealth, your life, we often expect immediate results. We hope for miracles without nurturing the soil of our minds, without planting the seeds of belief consistently. Daily affirmations and a true belief in your worth are exactly like planting seeds. They may seem small, insignificant, even invisible at first, but over time, they grow, they take root, and they blossom into life-changing results. Let me tell you about James, a struggling writer who felt invisible in the crowded world of publishing. Every day, he doubted his talent, questioned his purpose, and wondered if anyone would ever care about his stories. Then, he discovered the practice of daily affirmations. Every morning, he would look in the mirror and say, I am a talented writer. My words inspire and touch lives. I am worthy of success and recognition. At first, it felt awkward. He didn't fully believe it. Sometimes he even laughed at himself. But he persisted. He said it aloud, he felt it in his chest, he imagined himself receiving the recognition he longed for. Months passed, and subtle changes began to occur. He noticed he approached writing with more confidence, submitted his work with pride, and engaged with editors and fellow writers more openly. Then, an editor responded to one of his submissions, not just a polite rejection, but a genuine invitation to collaborate. Soon after, his first story was published, followed by more opportunities. The affirmations he planted each day had grown, unseen at first, into tangible results. His belief in his worth had magnetized the opportunities he had been dreaming of for years. This is the power of consistency. A single affirmation, one whispered thought of self-worth, might not change your life immediately. But repeated, day after day, it builds a mental landscape that aligns with abundance. Imagine watering a tiny seed every day. At first, nothing seems to happen. You might even doubt whether it will grow. But beneath the soil, roots are spreading, shoots are forming, and the energy you provide is doing its work. That seed doesn't need your impatience, it only needs your faith and care. Think of Sarah, a young entrepreneur who wanted to launch a wellness brand. She would wake up each morning and declare, I am ready to create a thriving business. My products serve and uplift others. Wealth flows to me effortlessly. At first, she noticed no dramatic shifts. No investors knocked on her door, no clients appeared magically. But she kept speaking her truth, kept believing in her own worth. Slowly, patterns began to emerge. Social media followers increased, people in her network started offering connections and advice, and eventually, the first paying customers arrived. The daily affirmations had quietly prepared her mind, her energy, and her actions to receive the abundance she desired. Here's the key. Affirmations aren't about pretending or lying to yourself. They're about consciously choosing to focus on your potential, your worth, and the reality you want to create. Your words and thoughts act like magnets. Fear, doubt, and negativity repel opportunity. Belief, affirmation, and alignment attract it. When you plant seeds of worth and abundance daily, you are essentially instructing the universe to prepare the soil, nurture your dreams, and bring them to fruition. I want you to picture your mind as a garden. Every thought, every word you speak, every belief you hold is a seed. Fear and doubt are weeds, they grow fast, they strangle potential, and they can take over if left unchecked. Daily affirmations, gratitude, and belief in your worth are the sunlight, water, and rich soil. They may not create an immediate bloom, but over time, they produce the most beautiful and lasting harvest imaginable. Let's go back to James for a moment. One evening, after months of daily affirmations, he received an unexpected email from a literary agent who had come across his work online. The agent wanted to represent him and help publish his first novel. James could hardly believe it. But when he reflected on his journey, he realized it wasn't luck, it was the cumulative effect of the seeds he had planted every day. The words he had spoken to himself, the belief he had nurtured, the consistency of his affirmations, all of it had built the foundation for this opportunity. Even the smallest gestures matter. Saying a short affirmation in the morning, writing a line of encouragement in your journal, or reminding yourself of your worth during stressful moments, these are all seeds. They don't demand immediate results. They only require faith, patience, and repetition. Over time, they shape your mindset, your energy, and your actions. And when the universe encounters that energy, doors open, opportunities appear, and abundance begins to flow naturally. Imagine what your life would look like if you treated your thoughts like precious seeds. If every morning you chose to nurture belief, self-worth, and abundance, rather than fear, doubt, and scarcity. How would your career, your relationships, your finances transform if you consistently declared your value and expected your dreams to grow? The power isn't in the words themselves, it's in the consistency, the faith, and the alignment behind them. Even when progress feels slow, even when you can't yet see the fruit of your labor, know that the seeds are working quietly beneath the surface. The roots are forming, the shoots are emerging, and one day, if you persist, your garden of abundance will bloom in ways you never imagined. This is why the practice of daily affirmations is so vital. It is not a quick fix, but a deliberate, consistent cultivation of your inner landscape. Each word you speak, each declaration of self-worth, each visualization of abundance is an act of planting. And just as no farmer expects a harvest after one day of watering, you cannot expect a lifetime of abundance to appear overnight. But if you persist, if you continue to nurture your mind, your heart, and your energy, the harvest will come, and it will be more abundant, more beautiful, and more aligned with your dreams than you ever dared imagine. Have you ever noticed how the harder you chase something, the faster it seems to slip away? Money, opportunities, recognition, they have a strange way of avoiding desperation. It's almost like the universe senses when we are grasping too tightly and pulls back, testing our patience, our faith, our alignment. Chasing creates tension, anxiety, and resistance. But there's a different way, a way that doesn't require running, hustling endlessly, or pleading for results. It's the way of declaration. The moment you stop chasing and start claiming, everything changes. I want you to picture Maria, a young real estate agent who spent years chasing leads, calling clients constantly, and worrying that she would never make her mark. Every day felt exhausting. Every rejection felt personal. One afternoon, feeling drained, she remembered something her mentor had told her: stop begging for business. Start declaring your success. Act as if abundance is already coming to you, and it will. It sounded simple, almost too simple. But Maria decided to try. She stopped cold calling obsessively. She stopped pleading for attention or discounts. Instead, every morning she stood in front of her mirror and declared, "I am a top agent. I attract ideal clients effortlessly. Abundance flows to me freely." She didn't just say the words, she felt them, visualized them, believed them. She carried herself with confidence, knowing that her worth and her abilities were already aligned with success. The results were almost immediate. Clients began reaching out without her chasing them. She received referrals from colleagues she had never spoken to in months. Opportunities appeared in places she had never expected: a developer looking for a trustworthy agent, a client with a premium property listing. Maria hadn't forced anything. She hadn't pleaded or hustled in desperation. She had declared her success, claimed her worth, and the universe responded. Chasing is born from a sense of lack. It's the energy of "I don't have enough. I need this now." And when we operate from that vibration, it creates friction. We push opportunities away without realizing it. But declaring is born from a sense of abundance, self-worth, and certainty. It's the energy of "I am ready. I am worthy. I am receiving." And that energy acts like a magnet, pulling circumstances, people, and opportunities toward us effortlessly. Think about it in everyday life. The person who constantly seeks approval, constantly asks for favors, or chases recognition is often overlooked. But the one who moves with quiet confidence, who knows their value, who claims what is rightfully theirs, the world notices. Doors open. Opportunities arrive. Connections happen naturally. That's the difference between chasing and declaring. One repels. The other attracts. Even in the small things, the principle works. Imagine someone attending a networking event. One person spends the evening desperately handing out business cards, trying to impress, trying to be noticed. Another person walks in with calm confidence, speaks from the heart, shares their vision with clarity, and listens deeply. Who do you think leaves with the meaningful connections? It's not effort or hustle alone, it's the energy behind the actions. Declaration, not chasing, always wins. Here's another story. Nathan, a musician, dreamed of performing at a major festival. 4 years, he sent emails, made calls, begged for auditions, and waited anxiously for a response. Nothing worked. Then he shifted his approach. Instead of chasing, he declared, "I am a celebrated musician. My music reaches millions. Opportunities find me effortlessly." He posted videos with confidence, engaged with fans authentically, and focused on sharing his music rather than seeking approval. Within months, a festival organizer who had noticed his work reached out. Nathan didn't chase them, they came to him. The declaration had changed everything. This principle applies to every area of life: wealth, relationships, careers, creativity. Chasing creates struggle. Declaring creates flow. Chasing is rooted in fear. Declaring is rooted in faith. Chasing says, "I hope someone notices me." Declaring says, "I am ready. I am worthy. I am receiving." And the beautiful part? You don't need to manipulate circumstances. You don't need to hustle harder than anyone else. You simply need to step into your power, claim your worth, and speak your truth. The universe responds to certainty. It responds to confidence. It responds to alignment. When you claim abundance confidently, opportunities don't just appear, they gravitate toward you as if drawn by an invisible force. So the next time you feel tempted to chase, to plead, to push with desperation, pause and ask yourself, am I acting from lack, or am I declaring from abundance? Because the truth is, abundance doesn't come to those who beg. It comes to those who claim it with unwavering confidence, who know their worth, and who act as if the universe is already delivering it to them. Imagine the relief, the freedom, the lightness of walking through life knowing that you don't have to chase. You simply declare, you align, you trust, and the universe responds. That is the path to effortless abundance. That is the path that Florence Scovel Shinn illuminated. That is the secret every one of us can claim the moment we stop pleading and start declaring. So now, I ask you, will you continue to beg, to plead, to chase a life that slips through your fingers? Or will you stand tall, raise your voice, and declare the abundance that is already yours? Declare it with your words. Declare it with your thoughts. Declare it with your heart. Every day, every moment, let the universe hear you loud and clear. I am worthy. I am ready. I am abundant. Do not wait for permission. Do not wait for the perfect time. The time is now. The power is within you. The universe is ready to respond. But it can only respond when you speak your truth. Say it until you believe it. Say it until your soul knows it. Say it until the fear has no room to live. Because abundance cannot find the hand that is clenched in worry. Abundance flows to the hand that is open, the heart that is certain, the mind that declares. And remember this: the moment you stop begging, the moment you stop chasing, the moment you claim your worth and declare your abundance, everything shifts. Opportunities appear, doors open, blessings arrive. Not by luck. Not by chance. But because you dared to declare. So go ahead, declare it now. Declare it boldly. Declare it unapologetically. I am abundant. I am worthy. I am ready. Say it. Feel it. Live it. And watch the universe move to meet you where you are. Because here's the truth you must carry with you every day. The universe doesn't answer prayers of fear. It answers declarations of faith. And the question that will define the rest of your life is this: will you continue to beg, or will you declare and let wealth, joy, and abundance find you?